Okay, hello fellow YouTubers. This is DM Blairwolf, and tonight's video is going to be a second installment on my collections videos. Um, excuse me. This is my uh, book collection I've amassed in 2015. I started playing D&D a couple years ago with some friends, but purchasing books was a little financially troublesome for a while. So what I did was, to be able to play without buying books, I went out to my local library and got a card and got books from there, and borrowed books from a friend, and got online and downloaded PDFs on my wife's tablet and ran the campaigns and things like that. But starting last year, somewhere around February, um, right before I fell and broke my knee, I had bought my first set of books, and that was, I had just bought these three paperbacks, which is Heroes of the Fallen Lands and Heroes of the Forgotten Kingdom and the Essential Rules Compendium. Excuse me. With those three books alone, with what you can download into your PDF files, into your cell phone these days, or even your tablet, or some people I know have a watch that like is practically a tablet. So, excuse me. The possibilities are endless if you know the rules, and all of us have been playing for quite a long time, so we know the rules for the most part, or at least like to think we do. So I broke this down into some sections. Powers books, realms, creature manuals. Let me see what that one is over there. I think this one's Player's Guides. Oh no, this is this is campaign locations as well. This is Player's Guides. I think all total, I have about 48, 50 books maybe. This is one of the reasons why I have not switched to 5th edition. My wife wants to, and some of my friends want to, but when you put this much money into something, I haven't used all of this to its capability yet. There's so much adventure and storyline and things that I haven't experienced yet in D&D for 4th edition. So, and I think there's a couple 3rd edition books in here too. I think there's some Eberron and stuff like that, Forgotten Realms. I think they go back a little ways. I'm not quite certain. I haven't had a chance to sit down and read them fully. They're just like concept ideas, more like items and things were used from those books. But as I was saying though, when you put this much money and effort into something, to just push it aside because something new comes out is kind of it's kind of like wasting money. I mean, I don't particularly start a new video game until I end the old one. I mean, I have over there in my PlayStation 3, now that it's blown up and I had to buy a PlayStation 4, I still have probably 8 or 10 games, awesome games like Dragon Age and Diablo 3 and Elder Scrolls, and they're still wrapped in packages. The books are still waiting to play, even though my PlayStation 3 is blown up now because I didn't end all the other games that I was playing at the time to play them. So I got new games that I haven't even enjoyed yet over there that I can't even enjoy until I buy another PS3. Because they don't play in the PS4, which I think is completely bogus that PlayStation can't, for the $600 and some you give them, give you some backwards compatibility. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but that's not the point of this video. But that concept is the same concept I use in everything. If I'm not done with what I have, why should I move to something else? So without any more rambling, it's 5 minutes in now, or somewhere in there, close to 5 minutes. So I got those 3 books to start. I showed you those. We'll go to Player's Handbooks. Let's move these over here to this pile here. And what we'll do is we'll just rebuild that pile over there. Player's Handbook 3. You'll see that some of the books that I have don't have like number 1 or number 4 or whatever, because I only am able to buy what's in my local area. And so with what's in my area, I can only buy what's available to me. So here's Player's Handbook 3. Player's Handbook 2. Also, if anyone has any, if you see that you have any books here that I don't have, that you're not using, shout out to me, leave it in the comments. I'll buy it. I'll trade for terrain, for starts. I'll, whatever. You know, I'm constantly wanting to expand my book collection here. So if you guys have it, you just want to give it away, or because you're not using it, or you want to do whatever. I'm open minded. I'll do anything. You know, in trade or miniatures, even any D&D stuff that anybody has that they're not using in any way, shape, or form. Let me know. I'll pay for it. I'll trade her starts, casts, or whatever. I'll build you a tower. I don't care. Whatever you need. I'm all into the bartering system when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons and DCC. If you have any DCC stuff, I'm going to have a DCC video coming out real soon with some books and stuff that I've collected that I want to show you guys as well. That's, again, we'll move on. Dungeon Master's Guide, number 2. Player Strategy Guide. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably it on that stuff. So we'll go to Into the Unknown. And then I have creature manuals here. Excuse me, guys. These books are dusty. I'm sitting on my shelf. Between my cough and my sneeze, I can't seem to get away from making stupid noises tonight. So then we'll go to power books. Arcane Power. Number Martial Powers number 2. Divine Power. Martial Power book. Psychic Powers. And Primal Power. Now there may be some of these other, like, in other piles. I don't know. I just pulled them off the shelf. My kids get in there, or my kids, my players get in there and they move things around and stuff. So some of these might be out of the actual piles. So Dungeon Master's Guide, which we all know that book. Come on, that's classic. The Open Grave. Tomb of Horrors. And Halls of Undermountain. So we'll go to this pile here. I have the Demonomicon. There are several Dragonomicons. I've only been able to find one in my area, so if anybody has any of them, lay them on me, let me know. Dragonomicon. This is for metallic dragons, as you can see. Then they have some what's called Dragon Magazine Annual, annual, whatever, however you want to pronunciate it. So I got the ones that were in my area. I have the Dragon Magazine. And here's another. I think there was 3 or 4 of them. Then for Eberron, I have the Eberron campaign setting. These were the ones I think are in 3rd edition. Maybe they are 4th edition, I don't know. I haven't gotten a chance to really read them. And Eberron Player's Guide. There's also Underdark, which goes with the pretty much the Halls of Underneath, I guess. So we'll put that in back over here in this pile. So then we'll do this pile here. Getting down to the wire, guys. There's a lot of books, but it don't take long whenever you start to get moving here. I have the Manual of the Planes. I have the Planes Above. The Secrets of the Astral Sea. And then there's the Plane Below. The Secrets of the Elemental Chaos. Sort of like a Middle Earth, I guess. Then we have some campaign settings here. We have the Forgotten Realms campaign guide. And the Forgotten Realms Player's Guide. Which we use a lot of characters out there. Bards and stuff like that. Then there's the Neverwinter campaign setting. And how do you pronounce that? Menzoberranzan City of Intrigue. Then there's the Dark Sun campaign setting. So that's all those piles. Now this pile here, we have the Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual. Then to go with the Dark Sun campaign, I have the Creature Catalog. I also have, along with the Monsters Manual, I have Monster Manual number 2, Monster Manual number 3, and then I have the 3 items books that are available. I have the Adventures Vault, and Mordenkanen's Magnificent Emporium, and Adventures Vault number 2. I have yet to find Adventures Vault number 1. I'm not sure if that falls under... Oh, wait, sorry. Adventures Vault 1 and Vault 2. I meant there is a... I think there's a another book yet, a 4th one of items too. I think I remember seeing another book. But as you can see, there's a lot of books here. And at the cheapest being like 29 bucks. Yeah, 29, 30 bucks. And I have like 50 books. Why would I want to go to another why would I want to go to D&D 5th edition? I mean, other than fun and enjoyment and stuff like that, but I still have all that to gain from this. I my wife and I had talked about maybe just gathering up the fifth edition stuff and sitting on it for a while till we enjoy all this. Oh, I keep bumping this thing. I'm sorry. Um, that probably makes a horrible noise on the camera too. I have all these different awesome, like this one here. My favorites are Tome of Horrors, the Open Grave over there, uh, Underdark, obviously, anything Undermountain, Halls of Undermountain and Underdark. I like that kind of stuff, caverny, dungeony, down in the dirt kind of thing. As you can see, I have a fairly decent collection. I've seen online people who have their books in the background when they're doing stuff, and their book collection looks much more massive than mine. Um, Let me tell you a couple reasons why I was driven to buy all these books. Um, when fifth edition came out, a lot of stores in my area started uh, doing book sales, and instead of selling them at a marked up price, they started selling them at book value, face value. Um, and believe me, there's a lot of companies in my or businesses in my area. We won't drop any names, but they just mark everything up so badly, and then in times whenever things like fifth edition comes out, all the stuff got cheaper. Um, at one time, I think I made a purchase of almost $300 for like 18 books. At one time, I saved for quite a while and just did a massive unloading of books. I had to carry them out in a cardboard box that they had to give me because I couldn't carry all the books at once. Secondly, when I game with my friends, a lot of them don't have the money to buy this kind of stuff. That's why I have so many miniatures and books and materials and things. And that's why I started making terrain on the cheap through watching DM Scotty and DMG. Because when you spend this much money on this stuff, you want your terrain to look as best as it can be, but at very low cost. After my fourth edition days of purchasing books was over, because the stores don't carry them anymore, I had to branch into other D20 mechanic books to start adding fun, cool things like Dungeon Crawl Classics and stuff to my game, mechanics wise and stuff. So, if you have any D20 adventure stuff, Egyptian vaults or anything like that, or even Dungeon Crawl Classics, or even D&D that you're not using, you'd want to get rid of or trade in one way or another or something, just let it in the below. I said that earlier, but I think I'll point on that again. So back to what I was saying was they don't have, try to be polite, I guess. They don't have the kind of income. Let's just put it that way. We won't go into the history of any of them or their lifestyles, but they just don't have the kind of income available to them, whether it be their own fault or not, I guess. So to be able to enjoy this game and game with more than just my wife and I, which I don't mind gaming with my wife. I love my wife, and her and I have a lot of fun, and we sometimes set up little things and play just one-on-one kind of Dungeon Crawl Classic style with, or not Dungeon Crawl, Dungeon World, from what we got from the PDF on like simple mechanics, so that her and I can throw some things together, entertain ourselves for a couple hours. My wife truly is one of my best friends, especially when it comes to gaming. She's really open, never complains, doesn't get upset when her character dies. She knows it's just a game. But so for me to be able to enjoy this kind of thing with more than just my wife and I, and to have friends over and a reason to gather and to be social and to splurge and buy pizza and food for people and things and enjoy nice things for a while, I kind of have to be the one to financially put that into it. And if you're like me, I'm sure you can relate. You got any stories or horror stories or whatever, you can post them below too. I'm willing to listen and hear. I'm relatable. I can understand why some people are like, it's only because of me, you know, I don't really like to try and throw that at my friends, but I try to let them know that, hey man, I took the time to buy the stuff and have some fun, so let's just sit down and have some fun. Let's not fight and argue. Although sometimes it does get kind of out of control. But um, another reason I purchased all this stuff, my love for Dungeons and Dragons. I did this when I was younger. I'm not quite so younger anymore. And when I lived at home. I was a kid. I hand drew everything. Had to like pull all the stops and like photo recognition and memory to, hey, I got a friend who's got 3 books I don't got. I got to go read those books quick while I'm visiting him. Skim the pages, photostatic memory of like everything, or take a notebook and take notes. Those kinds of things got kind of old when I was younger, and I just started to make up mechanics and things as I went. Um, Gaming with my friends when I didn't have the books. Then when the library started to miraculously start to carry them because they started buying old books from around town from people, taking used books to expand their collections of things. Then I was able to get them from the library and stuff like that. But um, so my love for D&D made me start to expand on all these things like my miniatures and my terrain. Because when I was younger, we hand drew everything on a mat. It was fun. It was great, but there's so much more to it now. And being a dungeon master or a DM or just even a game master, there's so many things involved that it's better to make it as painless as possible. So, think of anything else. Um, a lot of the material in these books, believe it or not, if you have one type of book, you can find that same thing in other books. So if you don't have a certain book, you can look up the PDFs or even the contents of the books and find out. Maybe you can cross reference them to other books in your area. Um, I know that just a personal note. I know that store in the mall that everybody goes to, the clothing store. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it now. Um, Wow, uncomfortable silence there. Um, I can't think of the name of it. It's where you go to buy goth clothes and stuff. It's Spencer's. There you go. Oh my lord. A place like Spencer's in some malls, like the York Galleria Mall and stuff, they have like back rooms that are nothing but Dungeons and Dragons, and I can't get to those malls very easily. My transportation is a little limited and things. So my friend Mike. Um, I've mentioned him in other videos. He helped me build my game table. He takes me out there when he can. God bless him. He's my longest friend ever. I think we're going on like 30 years or 35 years now as friends. Um, and he's the one who got me started back into D&D, and I have to thank him for that someday. I told him when we bought the red box together that this was going to be a lifelong, hey, this looks like the start of a lifelong addiction. And man, I wasn't kidding. It's I don't think I'll ever stop D&D ever. As long as I'm capable of playing, I will play. Um, or at least variations of D&D and other games together. Because Dungeon Crawl Classics and stuff is just mega awesome. Um, so he takes me out to the mall when he can. He has a wife and kids himself, so making time is very difficult, and I understand how that is. I got a wife and kids too. Um, so Spencer's is a type of place where you can, if in your local area, you look around, you can maybe check out in the back of the building or the back of the department store and see if they have a D&D section. Comic book stores, I know there's Comics Connection in my area. They're pretty savvy about having a few books laying around that most people can't get. So this is basically the best tips I can give for collecting books, and this is my collection. This is going in the collections section of my videos. Again, all total, I think there's like 38 or 40, between 38 and 45 books here. I think I sat down and added it up one night. I'm well over $2,000 in books. in a year's time. And I think as well I'm probably about 1,500 to 2,000 miniatures around the house in boxes, crates, laying around, drawers, shelves, stuff like that. And not to mention homemade miniatures and stuff. They kind of get set on the wayside, but they're just as important as store bought ones, really. Um, so let me know what you think about this collection. If you have a larger collection, or if you just want to say, "Hey, man, what a great collection," or "Hey, I got a better collection than that. Check out my video. There's some books in there that you probably never seen or whatever." I like those kinds of videos. Maybe give me the links to them down below. Um, I also sometimes when I'm using these books, I want to make this quick. Um, Sometimes these tables and stuff are very difficult to understand. Never go to Wikipedia for Dungeons and Dragons ever. D&D Wiki, it's about as useful as X-Wing Wiki. There's just not enough true information in there. It's a lot of people's opinions and a lot of, not that I'm saying that people are wrong or that they're not right in giving their opinion, but if you want the true story, the true this, that, or the other when it comes to it, just go to dnd.com or Dungeons and Dragons. They have their own website. The Wizards of the Coast, I think it's called. It's on the back here. Yep, Wizards of the Coast. dndinsider.com. Go there. Get that information. Get the scoop. Get the real meat and potatoes from them, because going to like Wikipedia and shit just doesn't add up a lot of what people say. I mean, a lot of people try and add their own mechanics or feelings or whatever to things. I learned how bogus Wikipedia is when I started playing X-Wing a little more avidly, and I would try to say, hey, that you can't do that because of this mechanic, and people be like, no, that's not how it works. Here it is in the book. This is what tells you. And then I'd say, well, that's funny. I checked it out on Wikipedia, and that's what they say. And they'd say, Wikipedia is not the greatest place. It is open source for information, I suppose, but it's not the most official yada 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 place to get it. Just get it right from D&D Insider or Wizards of the Coast or dnd.com, because at least those people got the right story, the right information. I thank you for riding along with me for this video. It's not quite as long as my last couple, or maybe it's near half. I have some other collections videos I'm going to bring out soon. I have some more Everything D&D to do, and I'm going to try and get some more Dice Masters wrapping video here soon. I'm going to try and pick up some more D&D dice. The stores are starting to like thin them out and not carry them so often, so I think I should maybe get another purchase or two in before they just stop carrying them altogether. So just a little bit of Easter egg there, what's coming up. Some fun things in the future for 2016. I got a list of things that I'm going to just start dumping onto YouTube real quick. Here starting in the next week or two, they're going to start to get more fluent and more terrain videos, more things I'm making, more things I'm offering on my Etsy site. I have the Kappa Cup sci-fi terrain. I still have it. I'm not sure if I plan on keeping it or not. I might excuse me, I might upload it, pictures to the Etsy account. I'll let you guys know for sale. So basically, thank you for your time. I appreciate you watching. Oh, and another thing, thank you guys, 250 subscribers. So awesome. I never imagined it would happen. I'm stoked. I just found out yesterday when I got on to see. I checked it out, and there's 253. I literally lost my breath. I couldn't even. I was amazed that all of you want to tune in and see what I'm doing and check it out and be loyal and be awesome and trade and share your information, your knowledge, your wisdom, your craft with me. I thank you all so much for that. So the 250 milestone is passed, and I appreciate and love all of you for it. Thank you so much. And until next time, guys, like, subscribe, comment for sure. I really like the comments. And I'll see you in the next video.